little sneak peek, something we're working on with the Color Factory. Trying to make it easier to work with the color of the monochrome bitmaps. Even I get kind of confused, I guess you could say, because when you're dealing with vector, it's left click fill, right click outline. But when you're dealing with monochrome, it's left click background, right click foreground. And it's really easier if you think about taking the approach of working with background and foreground colors. So basically what we've got here, we set up some color controls and we're working on this, but I'll select this monochrome right here and I'll bring my Color Factory back up and I'll go to the foreground color. Let's say I want to set that to a yellow. I could bring it down into the yellows here like this, or I could just type in 60 for 60 degrees and then click off of that onto one of the other ones. Now I've got that nice yellow. Select OK. Let's say in the middle I want to go with a different look, and I'll select that and I'll bring my Color Factory back up. I'll go to the foreground color, and let's say if we want to go with something for a different look, a really different effect, we'll bring that up into the magentas. Now look at how that creates that effect in that design. Even though it's a very simple design with just a few colors, bring that magenta in the center just makes that design pop based on the color. Getting into the monochrome and duotone, which is really trending in graphic design these days, and I'll select OK for that. Then I'll come over here to the other object and then I'll bring my Color Factory back up. I'll go to the foreground color. Then here I'll just key in the yellow, which would be 60. Click off and we can see that. So just making it easier to work with the colors based on working with the background and the foreground color. And we'll select OK. Now if I put a background color on something, say like a red like this, and that, you see how that could pop as a duotone. That would be just outrageously if you went in there and just popped duotones in there for each of these. I mean, the background color here also, and give that a background, let's say, of red as well. And now that we've got the monochrome in there with the magenta, they're too close in the color spectrum, and the reason for that is because if you look in the color spectrum, here's magenta, here's red, they're just too close. So you really have to bring that down into a different color. As you can see there, working down through the different colors. You can come down into a nice lighter red or something like that, or an orange red or something for an effect, or green or something, or whatever, what have you. But if you want to get rid of that, you can just go set trans background and then bring that back up and do the same thing. So just trying to make it easier to work with the color. Now look at that with the green and the yellow and the yellow and the blue. That's just an incredible effect working with these monochromes. It's so different than handling vector. But that's what we're working on, and hopefully we'll have this out in a day or two. And it'll just make it a little easier for you to work with the monochrome images as opposed to working with the color docker. I'm not saying some things the color docker is obviously maybe better for, depending on how you want to work with the color, but this just makes it a lot easier to understand and work with, coming off of what we're doing with the Color Factory with the monochrome, duotone, tritone, all different effects and things like that. So that's just a quick peek at what we're working on here, and hopefully we'll get this out in the next few days. We'll see you in our next video.